Place to water sports ahoy. Whoa, good lord, it's dark in here. Let there be light, saith the Lord. Let me see. There we go. That's a bit better. Place to water sports crew ahoy. How's everybody doing? Welcome along as the Rugby Championship continues. And what a scenario we have got here in this year's Rugby Championship. Honestly, into round 3, and absolutely anybody is capable of jumping to the top of the table. That's what we love to see, right? A nice close contest. Judah Shivian says, and let that light shine on an Aussie victory. Well, let's talk about that. Welcome along, John Michael, JC Smoke, Judah Shivian. How's everybody doing? Let's talk about the possibilities here of an Australian victory. As we've got 20 minutes to kick off, I didn't realize that I was ready this early. Oh, we've got the spam in action. Moderators in the chat room. Why is it always the rugby? We don't get this sort of spammage in the NRL. Thank you, John. Legendary mate. Taking care of that one for me. So let's talk about the potential here for a Wallabies victory. Obviously, we've got two teams in decent form, splitting their series respectively. The Argentinians got the win over the All Blacks and then lost one. The Wallabies got the win over the Springboks, then lost one. Who's going to carry on and get back into the winner's circle and take, temporarily at least, the top of the table? Well, there's a couple of interesting little tidbits here to talk about this game. So, obviously, when it comes to the Rugby Championship in recent years, Argentina have had great success against the Wallabies. They've won 3 out of the last 5, but still, the Wallabies haven't been in the greatest of form in recent years. This year, I think they're showing real promise. I don't think it will be that easy for Argentina. And the other fact to take into account here is Argentina, whilst it's a very small sample size, they haven't defeated the All Blacks all that often. But on the occasions that they have defeated New Zealand, they've gone on the following game and been blown off the park more often than not. So Argentina have never defeated the All Blacks and then gone on and won their next game. So that puts the Wallabies, I think, in pretty good standing here for this contest. JC Smoke says it's funny how 22 out of the 23 Aussie squad plays for an Australian rugby club, except for James O'Connor. Which is pretty good, I think. Continuity and all that. If you're playing in the Super Rugby competition, and James O'Connor, he might not be playing for an Australian Super Rugby club, but he plays in the Super Rugby competition. And I do think it's critical because you form relationships. It's not just necessarily about combinations on the field. That's obviously a huge part of it. But when you're involved in a competition like this, for anybody who's ever played, I'm assuming that that's most of us at any level, even in the schoolyard. When you're constantly playing other teams, you form relationships with the other players. Friendships, bonds. So even though James O'Connor may have been temporarily out of the Australian system, he was still involved in Super Rugby, still mingling with his now teammates. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I think it's actually a good thing. Because quite often Australia, due to their considered lack of depth, they reach out to the overseas players who haven't really been in the system for a long time. And they come back and they don't really... Like, look at when Matt Giddo returned. They implemented the Giddo rule so that they could have Matt Giddo come back. And let's face it, he hardly set the world on fire. Same with Kurtley Beale. They altered the system a little bit to get Kurtley Beale back, and he stunk up the joint. So I think it's a good thing. John Michael, you've got some breaking, shocking news for one and all. Is it that Saturdays are officially hardcore?
You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
I've actually got some breaking news about rugby league over in the NRL. Braden Brayley has re-signed. Great news there. But anyway, since this is a rugby stream, I won't go too heavily into it. Speaking of news, though, how do we feel about some not necessarily daily, but some more frequent, just little 5-minute videos here and there. Like when something big happens, Payne Haas, for example, I could do a video on Payne Haas. Payne Haas has been reached out to, and he has been offered a whopping, I believe it was like $3.3 million to go and join Rugby. What's it called? Rugby 360. This new breakaway rugby union competition. That's big money. I don't think the NRL can compete with that sort of finance. And I'll tell you what, somebody who would do very, very well in rugby union, big pain in the ass. James Fisher-Harris has taken the fastest try scorer record. Yeah, that was immense, wasn't it? Immense. A try from the kickoff. Doesn't happen all that often. What's going on with my hair today? Ugh. Bit bizarre. Anyway, not to worry. Okay. We do have some news that wasn't revolving around hardcore. Coming up after this one, of course, too, we've got the All Blacks at home against the Springboks. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. Very, very little confidence here in the All Blacks. I mean, obviously, All Blacks supporter, so I'm going to be hoping that they win. Oh, I've just got this sneaky feeling. A hoodoo. We could see a hoodoo smashed to pieces. The All Blacks are still finding their feet. They're still finding their combinations. Scotty Razor Robertson is persisting with selections that don't seem to be working right now. Maybe they'll work in the long term. There's been quite a few players over the years that we've said this about. It's not working. Pull the plug. They've persisted with it, and it's turned out to be genius in the end. But I just don't know. I don't know. I'm very, very concerned for the All Blacks today. And the Springboks, a traditional great rival. Can they break the Eden Park curse? I've got a sneaky feeling they might be. In terms of predictions, speaking of predictions, let's run through a couple. Based on what I said earlier, look, I do think that the Wallabies win this. I don't think they win it in a blowout, though. Argentina, they've shown so much improvement in recent years, and I think that that continues on. I've got the Wallabies winning by 7. Wallabies to win by 7. Leo Messi has officially retired from international football. What? And signed up for Los Pumas with this afternoon's match marking his debut. Is it April Fool's Day? They changed the channel on me. Got to switch over to 9 HD. Max Jorgensen, I think the Wallabies, it's going to be a little bit of a stalemate up front. Both of these teams were very, very solid around the breakdown. The Pumas outmuscled the All Blacks on many occasions, and we saw the Wallabies outmuscle the Springboks quite frequently in their 2-match series. So I'm thinking it might be a little bit of a stalemate up front. Therefore, I think the damage will be done out wide. Look for Max Jorgensen. First, second, or third try scorer. Max Jorgensen is great value, I think. In terms of Argentina, I couldn't really decide. I really wanted Julian Montoya in there because the rolling maul is still a weapon when it comes to international rugby, and they're a team that does it quite well. But I didn't want to put all the eggs in the Montoya basket, so I have thrown in Juan Cruz Malia, the fullback, just to cover off that combo. Either one can score a try. And they're the same with the Wallabies. I couldn't decide on the second try scorer there to go with Jorgensen. So rather than doing Jorgensen 2+, I got better value out of going Kellaway and Timmy O'Toole in a combo. So let's see how that goes. JC Smoke, you've got 7 different multis over 6 different games today. That's the way. Gamble responsibly, of course, everybody. Only punt with what you can afford to lose. That's what we always do here. Only ever put on what you can safely afford to lose should you lose, and give yourself a nice little bonus should you win. So we can quickly run through the lineups. Australia, Tom Robinson, Billy Pollard, and Taniela Tupou. The starting front row, pretty solid there. Nick Frost and Tom Hooper. Your starting locks, Valentini and Fraser McWright. Your flankers, Harry Wilson at number 8. Nick White, out of retirement. I hope he enjoyed that 2 weeks retirement that he had from international rugby. Nick White, the starting scrum half. Tom Liner. How sensational is it to see the name Liner back in Australian rugby, by the way? Game Mel, ahoy there. How are you? Tom Liner at 10. Your wingers, Corey Toole. I call him Timmy O'Toole for fun, and now I've actually called him Corey O'Toole. Corey Toole and Maxi Jorgensen, the starting wings. And in the centres, Len Ikitau, who has been in immense form. Len Ikitau, this is a big, big statement, I know, but Len Ikitau, he could turn into the modern-day Martin Nonu for the Wallabies. And Joseph Swelly, of course. Andrew Kellaway at the back, filling in for the injured Tom Wright. And the Wallabies bench, Pangra Mosa, Angus Bell, Nongor, Jeremy Williams, Tizano, Tate McDermott, James O'Connor, and Dalgunu. Argentina, Mako Vivas, Julian Montoya, and Joel Schiavi. The starting front row, Julian Montoya there, of course, a man of immense experience. And he'll be looking to lead from the front. That's why I've put him in anytime try scorer, slapped him in a combo. Feeling pretty good about Julian Montoya today. Mark Moas Bass, ahoy mates, go Los Pumas. 20-13. It's Pumas time. Well, I agree with the margin. I think the Wallabies will win, but it will only be by 7 points. I don't think this will be a blowout either way, so definitely in agreement with that 7-point margin. Franco Molina and Pedro Rubiolo, the starting locks. Juan Martin Gonzalez and Marcos Kremer. Your starting flankers, Pablo Matera at number 8, Gonzalo Garcia at number 9, Santiago Carreras at fly half. Mateo Carreras, I'm assuming that they're related, unless Carreras is like Argentina's version of Schmidt. They're not necessarily related. But Mateo Carreras and Bautista Delgui, the starting wingers, Santiago Chocaberas and Lucio Cinti in the centers. And, of course, my boy, Juan Cruz Malia, the starting fullback. On the bench, Ignacio Ruiz, Boris Wegner, Francisco Correa, Guido Petty, Joaquin Oviedo, Augustin Moyano, Geronimo. I love that. I can't wait for him to get on the field. Geronimo. Geronimo Priscintelli. And Benjamin Elizalde. I don't know. I'm trying my best with some of those names. Holy hell. Teams ready to come out onto the field here. Argentina wearing their away strip, which looks very French in nature. A nice deep dark blue. I don't understand why they can't wear their traditional light blue and white hoops when they're playing the Wallabies, but I guess it's all about that merchandising dollar, isn't it? For clubs these days, the bottom line is they've got to sell those jerseys. That's realistically what it comes down to. The teams are out on the park now, ready for the anthems. So, just to recap, my predictions for this game, Wallabies to win by 7. Whatever that scoreline looks like, I don't know, but 7 points, the margin. I've got the Wallabies to cover a 6.5 line. Max Jorgensen, first, second, or third try scorer. Fingers crossed on that one. Julian Montoya or Juan Cruz Malia, two of my favorite Argentinian players. I've put them in a combo for either try, and Andrew Kellaway and Timmy O'Toole to round it out for the Wallabies and get that 4-leg multi in place. And I'll start having to think about what I'm going to put on the next one. South Africa to cover the line. I definitely know that. Can you believe this? Actually, while they're going through the anthems, Cat Lego, ahoy there, mate. Whilst they're going through the anthems, can you believe this? In the next game, All Blacks and Argentina. Now, I know that it's at Eden Park, and Eden Park is a fortress for the All Blacks, but on current form, can you honestly tell me that the All Blacks are $1.52 favourites to South Africa's $2.45 outsiders? Eden Park or not? I mean, I'm pretty tempted to just fire away on South Africa straight up for that one. $2.45 in what should be a close game. Actually, I want to know too. I'll talk about this a little bit more in the pregame for the All Blacks. I just want to know. A draw. A draw is paying $18. Now, that's got to be pretty good value as well, right? When you think, okay, in my mind, South Africa will go into this game favourites. It should still be close. A draw, $18, mighty tempting. But I'll talk more about that in the pregame for the All Blacks and Springboks. Argentina's anthem, done and dusted. As always, filled with passion, filled with pride. Ready to take the fight to the Wallabies here today. And now Advance Australia Fair, the home side, the Wallabies. The Rugby Championship this year, up for grabs. Anybody's contest right now in terms of the tournament. There's Nick White. Got his eyes closed, look very sleepy. Very sleepy. Did he not get enough rest during his retirement, for crying out loud? Honestly, one of the funniest things to have come out of 2025, Nick White's retirement, and then immediate reversal of that retirement. I have to say, based on the national anthems, which is obviously not where the game is won or lost, but as it stands right now, a lot more focus and a lot more intensity, a lot more passion coming from Argentina. They could get off to a red-hot start here, Argentina. Don't be surprised if they lead early, maybe 6-0 inside the opening 10 minutes off the back of a couple of penalties. JC spoke. You say the All Blacks take Dan Carter out of retirement. And Richie McCaw. And Martin Nono. What about Nono? Martin Nono can still go. I reckon Martin Nono could still do some serious damage for 40 or 50 minutes. He's kept himself in very good shape. Revive Jonah. Big Jonah. Kickoff moments away. What's your last second predictions? I've gone Wallabies to win by 7. Let's say, I think there'll be a lot of tries in this one. Let's say, let's say 32 points to 25. Wallabies with the win. The countdown is on. Kickoff is moments away, and it's the Wallabies who get us started. They send it deep, landing it just outside the 22. Argentina spill it, and the Wallabies march over the top just outside the red zone. So not a good start there for Argentina. I must have put the knockers on them. I called Argentina's intensity from the anthem to give them a pretty solid start. Ikitau. Now a little bit isolated and over the top were Argentina, but Molina couldn't get the turnover. Wallabies going backwards now. They've lost about 10 meters, but still there for them in midfield. Tupou tripped up and taken down. Nice inside ball from Ikitau, but the Argentinian defense holding firm. Nick White looks down the short side and big Tupou charging onto it again, but over the top, sealing off. Tom Robinson angling over the ball on the ground. You can't do that, Tom. And there's the first penalty of the day, leaving the feet. Argentina survived that early mistake. And Santiago Carreras steps up from 10, their own side of halfway. He has pumped this into touch just outside the Wallabies 22. And what an answer that is territorially. They're a bit far out for a rolling maul, so that does not bring Julian Montoya into play just yet. But set piece. Argentina will have the line-out throw here on the right side touchline. So look for a set-piece play out to the left, which could very well involve my boy, Juan Cruz Malia. First job done. Line-out is one, and they wrap around the back. Montoya sends it out into midfield. A beautiful set-piece play there between the backs, and Del Guise picked up and dumped. Argentina ball in midfield. Here's Montoya. Driven back in the tackle. Still just outside the 22. Pick and go from Vivas. Takes it into the Wallabies red zone. Into the 22. Big Taniela Tupou goes rolling backwards. Geez, it'd be hard to move him. But somebody managed it. As Argentina keep it in tight. And a penalty to the Wallabies. Not rolling away. Who was the guilty party there? I didn't catch a number. But one of the Argentinian defenders failing to roll away. John Michael in the chat room is doing very good work there, defending our territory from the spammers. Hey, you're going to have to do better than that, spammers. I've got my beast defender, John Michael, on the front lines. Well, the TMO has intervened. What was originally a Wallabies penalty has now been overturned by the TMO. A no-arms tackle against Big Taniela Tupou. And Argentina are going to have a shot at posts. Well, remember my pre-game prediction, Argentina to be up 6-0 inside the opening 10 minutes off the back of penalties. Here comes the first three. I just like it when I get a prediction right, because it doesn't happen very often. Anyway, it's not right yet. They've still got another one to get. CJ Dunn, ahoy, mate. 20 meters out, right in front. A gift here for Carreras. Assuming it's Carreras that's kicking. I'm gathering that it is. Pops it over without too much thought. And Argentina lead this contest 3-0. A good start for the visitors. Wallabies get us back underway. And again, Argentina fail to claim the ball from the restart. And it sits up on the 22 for the Wallabies, but a knock-on is called. Against the Wallabies, scrum down Argentina. So an area of concern early on here for Argentina. 2 kickoffs. And they have failed to secure the ball once. I need to find myself a new overlay for those who join us in the NRL streams. You know that I've got the tally of things that happen. Like once a try is scored, I flick over from the stats view, like we've got there, to a list of the scoring results. I need to find a reliable one for rugby union. So if anybody knows of one, a nice screen overlay I can use that lists all the try scorers and whatnot, do feel free to sing out in the chat room and let me know. As this scrum resets, Argentina up 3-0 early on in this contest. 6 minutes into the first half. But a big area of concern. So both restarts have been dropped. They haven't managed to secure a single possession yet. Scrum has repacked it, now binds. Argentina get a big shove on here from the Wallabies, and it collapses on this far side. Penalty goes to Argentina, as the Wallabies were just illegally wheeling that one around. And we have started this match 7 minutes into it. We have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, 4 penalties now, if you include the one that was given to Australia that was ultimately overturned. A very, very whistle-happy referee. But hey, at the end of the day, I always say, as long as the calls are correct, you don't necessarily mind. Argentina fight touch. 10 inside the Wallabies half, and they secure the line-out ball. Carreras onto Chocoberas in midfield. Molina, now the big lock, held up and driven back. Great defense there from Tom Hooper. Argentina now break to the left. Carreras onto Malia, and the pass is spilt by Delgui. And a knock on Argentina leads to the Wallabies' first scrum of the night. Argentina might struggle with the conditions, perhaps. I don't know. How hot does it get in Argentina? Maybe I know that Argentina can be very, very cold, right? But how is it with the heat? Are they going to survive the Townsville sun? Scrum down here, 5 in from touch over on that right side touchline, and 10 short of halfway. The Wallabies will have the feed. 8 minutes gone, 3-0. There's 2 minutes for another penalty goal to Argentina to nail my prediction. That guy in the coach's box has the same hair as me. That's frightening. And another scrum reset. Early engagement from both teams. And this referee, he is really, really laying down the law. No nonsense type of official. He's going to blow the pee out of that thing by the end of this match. Scrum resets. Here we go. Wallabies. Bind. Sets. And that's a good collision. Solid foundation here from both teams. Wallabies get the second shove on. Argentina now angle in, and it crabs sideways. And the referee says we will have a reset. Unlucky there, the Wallabies not to get the penalty. Okay, well, there's justification of the call. Nobody clearly going forward, the referee says. It was a stalemate, both teams going sideways, nobody clearly going forward. Therefore, the penalty was not awarded, and he's gone with the reset. That's fair enough. You know what? I'm happy with that. Upon explanation, the scrum sets once again. Nick White with the feed. Gets it in quickly this time and gets it out just as quick. Ikitau in midfield. Out the back they go. Liner sends it onto the left, and the Wallabies have bobbled the ball. Throwing it back in field. It's intercepted by Chocobertis. And this is just very scrappy now from both teams. Oh, stay hunky. I reckon the Titans will just have a little bit more desperation. Because if they win, they avoid the wooden spoon. And that honor goes to the Knights. I think the Titans might just have that little 10% more today against the Tigers, who have literally nothing to play for. I do really like the Titans' chances tonight as we got time off and the referee's about to have words with the Wallabies. Penalty advantage was paid to Argentina. Now it's a long way out. 10 meters in from touch. Well, about 15 in from touch. And 5 meters into the Wallabies territory. Will they have a shot here, or is it too far out? No arms in the tackle again. Tupou, second time. Taniela Tupou. That is now his second warning for no arms and just diving in at the legs. They're going to have the shot here, Argentina. Well, how close was I? 11 minutes is gone. I did say 6-0 off the back of penalty goals inside 10. I've missed out by 1 minute, assuming that he kicks it. I'm pretty happy with that, though. That was a pretty good shout. We'll see if he kicks it. It's a big, big kick. Probably a good 50 meters on the angle, 55. 48 meters, there you go. 48 meters on the angle. Santiago Carreras. He moves in, he strikes it. Well, it's definitely got the distance. Has it got the direction? Of course it does. Never in doubt. And Argentina leads 6-0. 12 minutes gone. Ooh, so close. Oh, so close to my pregame prediction. I wouldn't say it's been necessarily a good start by either team, though. Scrappy old game. Nick White to get us back underway. Can Argentina secure a restart? They've dropped the ball both times so far. This time it's taken inside the 22. And Molina sets up the ruck. So they've finally claimed one. Los Pumas. Garcia setting up for the box kick. Sends it high. Not looking for a lot of distance. It is contestable. Swalihi goes up for it. Spills it backwards. And it's picked up. The Wallabies have it. 40 meters out from the line. Argentina go in and rip the ball away. And it's been batted back by Vivas. Scrambling back is Del Gui, who fires it over into midfield. Counterattack is on. Malia sends it on to Sinti, who clears upfield, but straight down the throat of Kellaway. Poor option there from the center. And Kellaway counterattacks. Breaks through one. Flick pass keeps it alive. Still going now, the Wallabies. 22 out. They're taken down from behind. Popped back up for White, who does the double pump out for Tupou. Tupou with a loose ball to Valentini, and Argentina dive on it. But Argentina now spill it. And the Wallabies will get a scrum. And that goes all the way back to the poor option taking from Sinti. Argentina had a counter-attack opportunity. They decided to kick it. And it's not so much that the kick was a bad option. It was just a terrible kick. Straight down the throat of Kellaway, who launched a counter-attack of his own. And the Wallabies will have an attacking scrum just outside Argentina's 22. A much better sequence of play. Still waiting for our first try. Argentina leading 6-0. 14 minutes gone. Big opportunity now for the Wallabies, though. About 25 meters out. The scrum binds. Sets. Nick White feeds it quick again. Realizing that the referee is no nonsense tonight at scrum time or any time. Slightly flat pass across the face of the defense, but it's play on. Inside ball from Wilson there to Hooper, I believe it is, who carries forward. Robertson now just outside the 22. Wallabies still in possession. Tupou down the short side. Dummies gets his legs chopped out. Well defended there at ruck time for the Wallabies. Back into midfield and the ball spills out the side of the ruck. Play on though. Tom Hooper scoops it up. Not a lot of protection, but Argentina not committing. As the Wallabies send it back infield. 7 phases, but they haven't really gone anywhere. Just setting things up. Back into the middle of the park. White brings it down the short side for Pollard. Now kicks in behind. Looking for this one to sit up. Nobody's really chasing. And it sits up in goal for Malia to ground it. And it was only forwards chasing through there for the Wallabies. Nick White went with the little grubber kick through. But the backs didn't get the message. They needed some pace chasing after that one. 6-0. Argentina lead. John Michael, am I going to either WWE Super Show or AEW Grand Slam? Probably not, mate. Yeah, probably not, to be honest. Argentina go deep with the restart. A goal line dropout. And now going through to spoil is Martin Gonzalez. Penalty advantage now as he's gone in from the side. Fairly blatantly. The double pump from Nick White out into midfield. And Tom Robinson sets it up. The pick and go from Swalihi. And now Ikitau has a go. Still penalty advantage. Kellaway tries it on. Where's the forwards? You had forwards chasing. Oh, Tupou spills it. We'll come back for the penalty. And the Wallabies have a chance here to get on the board. A penalty about 25 meters out. 10 or so in from touch. Okay, one in the middle of the field. They've got an option here for which penalty they want. And I think they might just take the one in the middle of the field and look to put points on. Argentina caught offside. But interesting stuff here from the Wallabies because we've now seen forwards, front rowers chasing through grubber kicks into the in goal. And now we've seen their back line getting involved in continuous pick and goes. They're doing it all wrong at the moment, the Wallabies. Well, a gift 3 points has been turned down. And Tom Liner puts this one into touch 5 meters out. The Wallabies have decided to have a crack here. What a bold, bold call. It worked out for them against the Springboks in that one game. 18 minutes gone. Argentina leads 6-0. Defunk and John Michael. We've now got double whammy defensive line. Forget about Argentina's goal line defense right here. The spammers can't get through our Wasted Water Sports chat room defensive line. As Argentina lose a player to HIA. I didn't see who that was. I apologize. There we go. Molina, the lock. Franco Molina. Wallabies win uncontested ball in the line out. Rolling ball is set. Crabbing sideways, dangerously close to the sideline. Half a step infield, 5 meters out still. White releases it to Liner. Liner to Swalihi. Picked up and driven backwards. Gets it back for Nick White. Dances around and taken down 10 meters out. As the Wallabies go down the short side. Frost lays it back. Kellaway goes into play scrum half. Hooper staying down the short side. Hands in there from Argentina. And perfectly legally, says the referee, as the Wallabies are pinged for holding on. Massive turnover for Argentina. Beautiful defensive work in their own red zone. Oh, they're up for this, Argentina, aren't they? They are well up for this. We knew they would be. Beautiful defense, 10 out from their own line. And a touch finder clears them out of the red zone. Just out of the red zone. This lineout's going to be right on the 22. The Wallabies will surely compete here. A quarter of the way through this contest, neither team has looked like scoring a try. That was probably the best chance of the game so far, the 5-meter lineout for the Wallabies. As Montoya throws, goes to the front. Wallabies do contest, but it's down for Argentina. A flat pass to Kremer. And they set it up just outside the 22. Garcia wants the box kick clearance. Sends it high up over halfway. Kellaway moving forward. Oh, and it's Jorgensen who comes away with it. Spins in the tackle and almost breaks away down the right flank. Robertson beats the first defender. Feet in the ruck there from Vivas. Valentini to Kellaway on the wraparound. Cut out pass. Left they go. Inside ball. And Toole lays it back. Pick and go. Oh, obstruction call. Penalty to Argentina. They tap and go quick and the counterattack's on. Malia up to halfway. And they've spilt the ball on play one. Knock on advantage Australia. O'Toole up over halfway again for the Wallabies. Scrappy from both teams. Argentina's defense has been solid, but their attack needs a lot of work. Nick White digs this one out. And right on halfway, he puts a box kick up. And now they're offside here, the Wallabies. Kellaway was a step offside, gets away with it. But Argentina come down with the ball regardless. John Michael, Socceroos beat New Zealand last night by 1-0. That's a very believable scoreline for the old soccer. Box kick now from Argentina. Contestable ball. Liner does well to wrestle that one away. And he brings it back to the halfway line. Short ball is a nice one there from Hooper onto Wilson. Wilson carries up into Argentina's territory. Tupou back on the inside. Penalty advantage now as Argentina going in over the top off their feet. Sclavi, the prop, not maintaining his body weight there. Now do the Wallabies have a crack? This is in a much worse position. You would think if they put it into touch last time from a much easier place, they'll put it into touch again. And that is indeed what they're doing. Liner finding touch 5 meters out. What a kick. But what this does, they're using so much energy. They've got to come away with points. As we've got a water break. So that answers the question about the heat in Townsville. We've got a water stoppage. Both teams topping up those fluids and especially stay hunky. In this heat, 70% possession without a try without a point is very, very concerning for the Wallabies. They've turned down one absolute gift. They've turned down this one as well, which was a little bit more difficult, but probably you would have to expect would be gettable. So they've knocked back 6 points. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. You've got to take the points when they're on offer, right? Take those points when they're on offer. Because even if they do get the try and kick the goal, they only lead by 1 point. And all that effort that they've exerted getting to that stage. Argentina are still applying effort, of course, defensively. Like 70% possession is a hell of a lot of defensive work. But I don't like it. We know I'm a big advocate for taking the points. Get you those points when they're on offer. All right, here we go. Wallabies, 10 meters out. They throw it to the line out. And straight off the back to Wilson. Wilson charges into the defensive line. 5 out now and bobbling the ball, nearly spilling it. Frost, I think it was. Nick White picks the ball up from scrum half and dives over. The cheeky little scrum half. Opportunistic. 6 points to 5. Kick to come. Oh, Nick White, you bugger. I've got Max Jorgensen first, second, or third try scorer. And Nick White's gone and stolen one. Crucially for the Wallabies, they've done that very, very quickly. Argentina caught flat-footed. It was Frost with the initial hit up, lays it back, and just completely off the pace there, Argentina. Completely off the pace. Relatively simple kick here for Liner, just to the left of post, puts it down the middle. Well, not quite, but still it went through. And it is 7 points to 6. Australia. It must have been the water break. I reckon the Wallabies, they probably had their flasks were full of Reece Walsh's toilet water. And that's why they've come out after the water break and just gone bang. Immediately. There's something in that Reece Walsh toilet water. Pumas get us back underway, sending it deep. And Iki Tau brings it down and sets it up 10 out from the Wallabies line. Wallabies keep it in tight, getting a better angle here for the box kick clearance. Tupou's not going into play scrum half, is he? Okay, no, he's just going to form a gigantic shield for Nick White, who sends the box kick into touch. Not a lot of distance on it. 25 meters out from the line, Argentina. They'll have an opportunity. Montoya with the throw. Argentina goes short in the line out. And the ball batted back straight off the top. And out into midfield it goes. Argentina. back to Petty. Petty with loose ruck ball. Spills out the back for Chocoberes. Carreras on the wraparound. Keeps it alive for Cinti. Cinti pops it back up for Kremer. And the flanker carries it just outside the 22. Penalty to the Wallabies as Argentina are holding on. Great work there from Fraser McWright, was it? Seven 6 with 26 minutes gone. And Australia starting to get on top. Well, I say starting to get on top. They probably shouldn't have ever been behind, to be honest. 70% possession and territory. Finding touch now just inside Argentina's half. The throw to the middle of the line out, secured by Hooper. Now White in midfield. To Ikitau. Another strong carry from Ikitau. Fraser McWright. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's NRL on today. Forgot about that. Because all the games mean nothing now. As Wallabies come up with a dropped ball. Who was that? Valentini, I think. Valentini with a cheeky little knock on. And we'll have a scrum down here for Argentina. 27 gone, 7 points to 6. The Wallabies leading. And Maiko Vivas is down for an injury stoppage. I've got to make sure I put more beers in the fridge. I'll be right back. Wouldn't you know, I didn't have beers in the fridge. Crazy. Scrum down, Argentina feed, and it collapses immediately. Resetting here, 5 meters short of halfway for Argentina. Yeah, Judah, the wooden spoon is still up for grabs, but nobody cares about that, do they? Big shove here from the Wallabies, but Argentina get it out. And a beautiful angle from Chocoberes opens them up. Draws in the fullback. Support from Malia. Malia feeds it on to Delgui. And Argentina hit back. Juan Cruz Malia. That was my boy. He surely would have had the pace to get there and get a tick off our multi. But he played the team game and he fed it onto his winger, Bautista Delgui. And Argentina take the lead back. 11-7 with the kick to come. A beautiful angle from Santiago Chocoberes back on the inside. Draws in Kellaway. Juan Cruz Malia probably didn't have the pace, so did the right thing there by feeding it on to Bautista Delgui. And that was a beautiful set-piece play. Oh, they love it. Argentina, the try celebration. Exquisite. Not exquisite, though, was the conversion attempt, which is pushed away to the right by Carreras. And it's 11-7. 29 and a half gone. 11 points to 7. Oh, no, Judah. The Eels, lots of injuries early in the season for them. They were always going to improve when Mitch Moses returned. They didn't belong down as far as they were. There's Nick White with the restart. Sends it into the 22. Well claimed by Argentina. So the Wallabies exerted all that hard work and all that energy. Nick White was the try scorer in the end, but they had to outlay so much energy. And Argentina have hit straight back and just nullified that fight back. They've got to start taking the threes. As Kellaway has it on halfway. Feeds Swalihi. Good strong carry into Argentina's half. 40 out in midfield. Forward pass. Very flat there from Tom Hooper. And as a matter of fact, it has been called forward pass. And that was really, really poor there from the Wallabies. Really poor service from Hooper. $11 points to 7. Argentina still in the lead. Johan Grove, ahoy there, mates. Welcome along. %67 territory for the Wallabies, so that one on screen hasn't updated just yet. 64% possession. As Argentina break away down the left, and they've created space. Sinti steps around. Jorgensen gets the pass away. And a beautiful wraparound from Malia. Back in field, it goes for Carreras. And Mateo Carreras scores. Argentina have gone back-to-back and blown this game wide open. 16-7, kick to come. Mateo Carreras. As Argentina play hot potato and keep the ball alive, Jorgensen gets turned inside out by Sinti. Beautiful work. Argentina. This has been incredible. My boy Malia again. I've got Juan Cruz Malia and Julian Montoya in a combo. Malia has now got 2 try assists. From the sideline, Santiago Carreras pushed it out to the right on his last attempt. This time he corrects it nicely. And Argentina lead 18 points to 7. Oh boy, they're here to play. They are here to play. Six minutes to go until the halftime break. Wallabies go short with the restart. Swalihi competes, but Argentina come down with it. And they've got the ball about 30 out from their own line in midfield. Setting up a ruck down this near side. That's the right edge. Garcia digs it out, sets up the box kick. Garcia sends it high up over halfway. Chasing through is Delgui, putting pressure on. And he takes Toole down in the tackle. Wallabies have it 10 inside their own half. Crawling forward towards the halfway line. Nick White now fires it out to Liner. Wilson keeps the ball alive to Frost. Argentina up quickly. Look for the turnover. But a nice clean out there by Wilson. Back to Liner. It goes for the clearance. A lot of height on it. Not a lot of distance. And Carreras, the fly half. Return serve. Sits up in the 22 for Liner. Passes to Kellaway. Kellaway throws a risky pass back for Liner. Almost intercepted, but Argentina get the penalty as Wallabies again guilty of sealing off the ruck. And this is a gift 3 points now for Santiago Correas. The Wallabies are falling to pieces here. Argentina have found another level. And they are now dominating this game. Argentina will surely take the shot at poles. 3 points on offer. The Wallabies have been knocking them back and going for the tries, and they've only got 7 points to show for it. Argentina, on the other hand, taking the points when they're on offer, and they're about to be up 21 points to 7 as we approach halftime. 4 minutes left. Oh, this has been a big performance. Correas, 25 meters out, just to the right of posts. Should be a simple conversion, simple goal. He moves in, he strikes it right down the middle. Santiago Correas makes it 21 points to 7, and Los Pumas are on fire. It was a very scrappy start from both teams. But Argentina have well and truly clicked into gear here. And they are now dominating this contest. Wallabies go deep with the restart. And an immediate clearance from Correas upfield. Gets good purchase on it. And the touch judge says we'll have the line-out throw. Well, he's not happy with where he gave it. But it is Wallabies line-out throw just inside their own half. Pollard throws to the middle, tapped back immediately. Here's Ikitau to Liner on the wraparound. White now, wrapping around the back for Toole. The kick goes through, and it's trapped by Argentina. And they get the penalty. Nick White was offside there as he wrapped around and then chased through the kick. And with 3 minutes to go till the halftime break, Argentina have an opportunity here to send themselves down into Wallabies territory and put even more pressure on. What a first half this has ended up being. How many penalties have the Wallabies ended up giving away? Great question. Let's see if that shows up in the summary. I don't know if it does or not. No, it doesn't. Well, that's unfortunate. I need to find some better stat screens. Argentina find touch here. Just inside the Wallabies half. The line out is secured. It was scrappy, but secured. Garcia sent it down the short side. For Sclavi. And big Sclavi sets up another ruck. One of the poor Wallabies players copping an ultimate wedgie here. That is a monster of a wedgie. And he's getting a tap on the arse too from the Los Pumas player. The box kick upfield. And Argentina ripped the ball away. They're going to put more pressure on. Out into midfield with a penalty advantage now to boot. Garcia sends it left. Malia on the wraparound. Dummies almost penetrates the line. Short side again. Correas kicks through. They need this one to sit up. Kellaway's got it. And he is thumped in the tackle. Argentina put pressure on. And the referee says, let's just calm things down and we will go back for the penalty. Argentina will have a chance here to take a 17-point lead into the halftime break. Well, is it a penalty or a knock-on? Surely a penalty, because that was a long advantage for a knock-on. And it looks like... Oh, okay. Argentina, leading by 2 converted tries, have elected to take the scrum. They are going to have a 5-meter scrum here, Argentina. They could have taken the penalty, 22 meters out, 15 in from touch, had a crack at 3 points. They have elected to take the scrum 5 meters out. This is now a bold call. The siren sounds for halftime. Imagine a 28 points to 7 lead at the break. Wallabies get a free kick. And they won't even get the opportunity here, the Pumas. They've let themselves down. The Wallabies will thump this into touch for halftime. Nick White sends it up into the stands. That'll do it. But Los Pumas, 21 points to 7 at the halftime break. What a performance it's been. The Wallabies will feel like they've dodged an almighty bullet there right at the back end. Argentina not getting to the scrum. Some shenanigans there from the hooker, Julian Montoya. All right, so Nick White, the only try scorer so far for the Wallabies. And for Argentina, well, they've shared it around a little bit more. It really has been an incredible performance. So let's see. 21-7 at the halftime break. We have got I just want to find somewhere that lists the try scorers, basically. I think once we find that, we'll be all sweet. The same that we do for the NRL streams, you know. You guys know what I'm talking about. A nice little overlay of point scorers. I believe Planet Rugby has one. That might do the job just for today. Malcolm, ahoy, mate. Argentina 30 plus. The way that it's traveling at the moment, it's looking that way, isn't it? Here we go. I might be able to set this one up. This might do the job. Or not. Oh, well, not to worry. There's got to be something out there for the rugby. The same way there is for the NRL streams. We'll find it. 21 points to 7 at halftime, though. John Michael, Argentina, started out very scrappy indeed. But mind you, so did the Wallabies. It was very scrappy from both teams early on. Argentina just had that period of dominance where they took all their chances. Wallabies had a similar sequence of about 10 minutes or so, and they could only come away with the one try. They had to work so hard for it. But as we know, all is not lost. I mean, 2 converted tries is nothing, really. And we've seen the Wallabies fight back from this situation against the Springboks in South Africa before. So it's certainly not game over, but they're going to have to lift big time in the second half. That's for sure. They need a much, much improved effort. I mean, just think, like, we've gone into halftime. The Wallabies have dominated territory and possession. and they find themselves 14 points down. That's just amazing. That's incredible. You just wouldn't believe it. Had I not witnessed it with my own eyes, I would not have believed it, that they could be going into the sheds trailing by 2 converted tries. Oh, well, anyways, don't forget, of course, we've got the All Blacks versus Springboks coming up after this. So, I mean, don't go anywhere. The Rugby Championship action continues. And what a blockbuster game that one's going to be. Can the Springboks break the Eden Park hoodoo? I've got a sneaky feeling they do. Sneaky suspicion they do, E.B. Williams. The way that the All Blacks are playing at the moment, I just can't pick them with any confidence whatsoever. No confidence whatsoever. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Halftime here, 21 points to 7. I'm going to have myself a quick break, and we'll be back for all the second half action here. Can the Wallabies fight back, or can Argentina continue to assert their authority onto this contest and run away with it in the second half? We'll find out shortly. West to World Sports crew, ahoy. Half-time here, 21 points to 7. One of those awkward scenarios. It could have been so much better, but it could have been so much worse for the Wallabies as well. And it could have been so much better for me personally, like my pick, Juan Cruz Malia, the fullback for Argentina. He's been involved in two try assists. So close yet so far to that elusive tick off the multi. But the Wallabies, of course, dodged an almighty bullet right on the stroke of half-time. Argentina with the scrum 5 meters out. They didn't even get the feed before they gave a free kick away. And Nick White was able to pump it into touch and send the Wallabies into the sheds. Only 2 converted tries behind. So, the situation for my pre-game predictions and the same-game multi is as this. Max Jorgensen, first, second, or third try scorer, pretty much has to be the next to score. Well, not pretty much. Does have to be the next to score. If Jorgensen does not score next, that wipes out my multi, regardless of the rest of the results. So that's where we're at. And, of course, it would be very handy for the Wallabies to be the first to score in the second half anyway, if they want to get themselves back into this contest. Springboks versus All Blacks at Eden Park. Coming up after this one, E.B. Williams. You don't know why Razor keeps selecting Rico Ioane when it's pretty evident he doesn't want to be there. Hardly any involvement in any of the games this year. Poor defensive reads and error prone. I don't understand it either, E.B. Williams. It's one of the contentious selection calls for mine. Like one of the really obvious contentious selections is Rico Ioane. But sometimes coaches, right? We see it all the time. Doesn't matter the code, doesn't really matter the sport. You see coaches, they pick a certain player and yeah, they stick with them. I don't know what it is. And it's not even like Rico Ioane was a Crusaders player. So, because maybe you think, oh, well, Scotty Razor Robinson, if there's like a fringe selection player, he might just fall back on what he knows when it comes to the Crusaders. But obviously, Rico Ioane doesn't fall into that category. So, who knows? But yeah, I don't understand the persistence with selecting him either. And Billy Proctor gets another shot in the centers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is fair to say or not, but I feel like international rugby has left. Because what made Scott Razor Robertson such an amazing Super Rugby coach? I mean, okay, he had the players at his disposal. Anybody who coaches the Crusaders has usually already got a pretty big leg up on the competition, right? Because the Crusaders have just got that production line of championship rugby players. So you've got to factor that into the equation as well. But regardless of that, you've still got to accomplish what's been accomplished with Canterbury and the Crusaders. So by no stretch of the imagination is he a bad coach. I just wonder if getting up to international rugby, the pressures that come with international rugby, if he's maybe just been a little too conservative in his selections. Like one of the most surprising things when he took over, I thought he was just going to put the cleaners through the team. Everything that Fozzie had set in place, I thought Razor was just going to come in and go, nope, that's not the way we're playing. You're out, you're out, you're out. You're in, you're in, you're in. But he didn't do that. Razor's first few games as coach, he kept the exact same team. He kept Fozzie's team in place, which I don't quite understand. I just wonder if he's a little bit nervous of failure at international level. And it's preventing him from making the changes that maybe his gut is telling him is correct. And ironically, that's what's leading to failure. If that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. It made sense in my own head. But I think he's torn at the moment between how he wants the game to be played versus the selections that he's actually bold enough to make on the international arena. But anyway, we'll see. Who knows? It might just all click into gear one day and we'll feel silly for questioning him. I hope that's what happens, but second half underway. Wallabies immediately clear upfield. And Argentina will go straight on the attack. Here's Malia with the goose step. Pops it up down the short side, and Argentina now angle back in towards the midfield. Just outside the Wallabies 22, Garcia sends it over for the crash ball. Digs it out and goes again. Carreras out the back to Chocoberas. Now, Malia's up in the line again, but the cutout pass goes to Mateo Carreras. Garcia scampers across the face of the defenders, and Rubiolo's driven backwards. This could be a massive start to the second half. Garcia into midfield again. Matera just sets it up. Garcia goes quickly, heading off across to the far right side of the field. And he's got Chocoberas angling back in. Staying on that right edge, and Argentina just got in each other's way there. Penalty to the Wallabies for an obstruction. They just got it a little bit wrong there, Los Pumas. But what an enterprising start. I mean, they've got that 2 converted try lead now, so they can play with a little bit more enterprise. Liner kicks for touch. Up to the Wallabies for own 40. Can Maxi Jorgensen get the first try of the second half and keep my same game multi alive? That's what I'm hoping for, obviously. And the Pumas steal the line-out throw. They'll go on the attack again inside the Wallabies half. Well, this has not at all been the start to the second 40 that the Wallabies needed. .40 out from the Wallabies line, keeping it down the tram lines. Wallabies rip the ball away, but still there for Garcia. Pops it up. And Argentina is Sclavi, very slow to get to his feet. Running out of options here in midfield as the Wallabies defense holds firm. Fraser McWright almost gets the turnover. Wraparound from Carreras is well read by Swalihi. And Swalihi rips the ball away. Back for Valentini. Valentini to Jorgensen, who kicks through. Nobody at the back here for Argentina. It's Jorgensen versus Malia. Malia leads the race and grounds it in goal for a dropout. But Maxi Jorgensen, he was in play. That's what I want to see. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Argentina will have the goal line dropout, leading by 14. Controlling the flow of this game here. Will they perhaps slow down a little bit? Think the 14 points is enough? Surely not. Surely they're smarter than that. Carreras with a deep restart up over halfway. And Valentini winds up. Runs through the first defender. Argentina in over the top of this one, but still there for the Wallabies. Liner shuffles it along to Ikitau. Ikitau bumps away from one, but he's brought down by Montoya. Big carry from Bell. Angus Bell, who's on the field. White sends it to the left. Nice inside ball for Toole and Corey Toole. 35 out from Argentina's line. Loose pass. Scooped up well. Between the legs. Kellaway gives it on to Jorgensen. Kicks over the top again. And this time, Carreras is back to ground it. And we've got another goal line dropout. That was well scooped up between the legs of Fraser McWright. I think it was Fraser McWright anyway. And the Wallabies, they're applying some pressure here early in the second half. Argentina send the restart deep. Liner scrambles over to take it just inside the touchline. And Valentini now sets it up 40 meters out over on that left edge. Back into midfield. Wallabies. Through Angus Bell, carrying it inside the 40. John Michael, you just tried a watermelon-flavored Fanta, imported from Japan. Courtesy of Bruce in Canberra. Very nice. Nick White sets up the box kick here, and it's going to land inside the 22. Ball spills free. Taken by Toole. Wallabies in possession. Well, it was a little bit of a nothing kick, but it's worked out all right. Angus Bell on the pick and go. They're 10 metres out now. Ikitau looks to get the arms free, but he's wrapped up. White keeps it down the short side. Jorgensen's over on this far edge. That's where we need them to go. The short left-hand side down the tram lines. The Wallabies 5 metres out. They're going to keep this one in tight. Penalty advantage now. Okay, it could open up as Argentina drive through illegally. Wallabies still have it. Penalty advantage. Jorgensen desperately waiting for this ball out on the right edge. But they still keep it in tight. Angus Bell sets up another ruck. They're 15 in from touch now. White to Ikitau from a standing start. Flex the pass around the back for Swalihi. And Joseph Swalihi scores. Well, there goes my same-game multi. But importantly for the Wallabies, they've hit back. Swalihi. 21 points to 12 with the kick to come. And it's Len Ikitau. I was talking him up in the pregame, and he has had another monstrous performance. Ikitau, who bends the line, gets the arm free, and pops the pass around. The left arm gets around and feeds it to Swalihi. Big try from the Wallabies. That has unfortunately killed my multi. But it has given us game on. Liner from right beside the post puts it over. 21 points to 14. 7 gone in the second half. Crucial start to the second 40 there for the Wallabies to get points on the board nice and early. That was absolutely critical. And they've done the job. Seven points the difference now. As Carreras gets us back underway. Sends it into the 22. And Liner dummies the kick. And the ruck is set. Tate McDermott's on the field for Nick White. And a penalty goes to the Wallabies. Argentina in off their feet at ruck time. And tensions are starting to flare up now, as the Wallabies look to get themselves back on top in this contest. Tempers are flaring over. A critical try for the Wallabies. As Liner finds a... Well, he doesn't find touch. He's cocked it up. And Argentina keep the ball in the field of play. Malia runs back, puts the kick up. The bomb squad's out. Contestable ball taken by Carreras. And Argentina have it 30 out. Garcia looks back down the right edge for Carreras. Cut out ball for Cinti. Steps off the right boot. And Cinti sets it up just outside the 22. 5 in from that far touch. Pumas head back into midfield. Kremer crawls to the 22. Carreras out the back for Chocoberas. Quick hands here. Now from Malia to Matera. Pops it up for Mateo Carreras, who's shown the sideline and he's driven over. The Wallabies sliding defense too strong. Jorgensen's there. Liner's there. Angus Bell, I think it is, who's there as well. And Argentina taken into touch. It'll be a Wallabies line-out throw. 21-14. Argentina holding on to a slender 7-point lead. 10 meters out from their own line here. The line out by Pollard, uncontested to the middle. Now an inside ball puts Jorgensen in space. Carries it up to the 22. Maxi Jorgensen was almost away. A little trick play there from line-out time. Tate McDermott with the box kick sends it up towards halfway. And the Wallabies make sure of their touch this time. 10 short of the halfway line. Argentina have made a break up the middle. But a turnover now for the Wallabies. Kickoff time for the All Blacks for Springboks, I believe, is. Oh, hang on. I don't want to tell a fib. So I'll look this up. High ball here, putting pressure on Argentina in midfield. But they have come down with it. All Blacks 5:05. 5:05. So pretty much in exactly 1 hour, basically. Almost an hour. Now the ball sits up for Tate McDermott on halfway. Wallabies in possession. Ikitau into scrum half. Sends it out into midfield. Wallabies clean out is good at ruck time. Back it goes for Ikitau again. Puts the left boot in over the top. Finds space. Angles towards the sideline. And finds touch 15 or so. Argentina's side of halfway. He's not happy with that kick. Ikitau thought he could have done better there. Displeased with himself. "51 minutes gone in this contest. 21-14. Argentina lead. This one is indeed going to go down to the wire, isn't it? Big line-out throw here. Montoya secures the ball now at the front of the line-out. And the rolling maul is set. Argentina march up towards halfway, but they're crabbing towards the sideline. Penalty advantage now as it collapses. A lot of Wallabies trapped underneath there. Carreras in midfield. Cut-out ball. Malia grubbers through. Sets up for Carreras, who toes it through. Delgui chasing. And Tate McDermott puts his body on the line and secures the ball for the Wallabies. 5 out. Delgui still down in back play. Angus Bell sets up another ruck here for the Wallabies. Delgui finally back to his feet. And back into the defensive line. Tate McDermott controls it at the back of the ruck. And he box kicks the ever-living bollocks out of that one. Up towards halfway. Malia goes quickly. Carreras in midfield. Steps straight through a big gap, but the gap was created by an obstruction. Penalty to the Wallabies. Oh, Carreras, the fly half, just ghosted through. And often if it looks too easy, there's probably a reason for it. Johan Grove says the Boks are in for a drubbing today. Ooh, jeez. I've got to be honest, I would love to see that as an All Black supporter, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. All Black supporters are going into this game with very little confidence, I can tell you. Those Boks, they are a powerhouse. Pollard throws to the middle, and it's messy ball off the top of the line out. McDermott has to scramble back for it. And the Wallabies are back inside their own half. Liner fills in at scrum half, gives it to Valentini. Argentina try to hold him up off the deck, but he gets to ground with ease. McDermott now setting up the box kick. Told to use it. Sends the box kick up. Chasing through is Jorgensen. Trying to put pressure on Malia, who takes it and returns upfield. Not a good kick, though, as it bounces up for Liner. And Liner trying to get an angle on this over to the left corner. Does well. Gets it in behind the Argentinian defender. And it sits up now for Delgui, just inside the 22. He gets good purchase on it and finds grass. Back to Liner from inside the 22 to go again. Bounces it in front of Delgui, who retreats inside the 22. And as a matter of fact, it might be Carreras who's got back there. He finds some space in between the Wallabies defenders. Sits up for Liner. A low flat kick returned. Up over halfway. And charging onto it here. Argentina can counterattack. 30 out from the line now. Leading by 7. 55 minutes gone. Big defense from the Wallabies down the short side. But Garcia goes again. The double pump for Petty. Loose ball back in field is scooped up. And the Wallabies space out to the left for Ikitau. Ikitau one-on-one with Chocoberis, who brings him down. Valentini goes quick for Frost. Dummies. And he's wrapped up. Back and forth stuff here between the two teams. Now play settles down in midfield. For Liner, carried back into the 22. He puts it high. Contestable for Jorgensen. It's been spilt backwards by Argentina. And that's a forward pass. A scrum will go down for the Wallabies here on halfway. Although I don't know what the call is there. Seems like Argentina are getting the ball. Maybe Jorgensen mistimed his run. But yes, big game coming up next. All Blacks versus Springboks. Let's see. What am I going to do for a multi in that one? Since this one's done and dusted. Oh, yeah, scrum down. James O'Connor coming onto the field. Wallabies legend. First test on home soil since 2022 versus England in Brisbane. "57 minutes gone, 7 points the difference. This one as close as we anticipated it being. All right, let's see. I'm going to start thinking about what to put on here. All Blacks versus, I still can't believe, South Africa. $2.45 outsiders. Well, Cheslin Colby, surely. I love me some Cheslin Colby. As this scrum resets, Wallabies do have the feed on halfway. Cody Taylor, Malcolm Marks. I wonder if I could put Cody Taylor and Malcolm Marks in a combo. I'm going to have to look deeper into that. I'm so excited for that game coming up. All Blacks, Springboks encounters. They're always so good, aren't they? Very much looking forward to that. Anyway, the scrum resets. Halfway, Wallabies with the feed. James O'Connor's on the field. Trailing by 7. It sets. And dominance at scrum time for the Wallabies. O'Connor with his first touch. Gives it to Swalihi. Runs straight over the top of one. Flick pass out the back to nobody. Scooped up by Garcia. Keeps it alive to Delgui. Batista Delgui thinks about putting the kick in, but he holds on to the ball as Argentina counterattack. And now they spill it in midfield. 2 from the ruck. Knock-on advantage for the Wallabies. They immediately spread it to O'Connor, who clears upfield. Nobody at the back here for Argentina. O'Connor wants this one to sit up in the field of play, but it runs into the goal line and now flirts with the dead ball line. And unlucky for O'Connor, it goes dead. And we come all the way back to the Wallabies 22 almost for a scrum down. Argentina feed. Unlucky there, James O'Connor. It was the right idea. There was space in behind, but the kick just a little bit too heavy. as we wait for this scrum to pack, I thank you, Wasted Water Sports crew, for your company here today. It's always a lot more enjoyable catching the games with when you've got people to enjoy it with. So if you are liking what we're doing here on the Wasted Water Sports and you haven't done so already, do feel free to give us a like and a subscribe. It all helps us do what we do here and hang out with you lot and cover all the sports. As what's going on here? Now, it was supposed to come back for a scrum down to Argentina from where James O'Connor kicked it. But it looks like maybe the TMO has got involved. And there's a big discussion now between the Pumas captain, Julian Montoya, and the referee. James O'Connor kicking the ball from just outside his own 22 and went dead. A pretty clear-cut decision to come back and scrum down for Argentina. But the referee has now walked back to the halfway line. Curious to know what this is all about. Oh, it's the water break. Okay, that's all. Why did they have to walk back to halfway for the water break? Well, we saw what happened after the first water break in the game. The Wallabies, pretty much like 2 rucks after, came up with a big try. Well, I don't understand why they had to walk back to the halfway line to do the water break, but it is what it is, I suppose. No harm, no foul, what they say. Well, it looks like the only prediction that I'm going to get right in this game was the 6-0. The 6-0 lead for Argentina early off the back of penalty goals. Oh, no, they have gone back to halfway. Okay, so the TMO has found a penalty for the Wallabies on the halfway lines. So it's a penalty to the Wallabies. I've got to be honest, I have no idea what that's for. It happened before the water break. James O'Connor put the ball dead, which would have been a scrum down for Argentina from where he kicked it. The TMO got involved and said, no, there's a penalty here on halfway for the Wallabies. And O'Connor puts it into touch. 21-14. 20 minutes left to go in this one. Pengaromosa on the field for Pollard. Throws to the front. Uncontested. Wilson taps it down. And the Wallabies immediately send it into midfield where Ikitau bends the line again. Oh, he's a beast, Len Ikitau. O'Connor with the cutout pass for Wilson. Wilson grubbers through. And it sits up at the back for Malia. Wilson charges it down. This could go anywhere. Lost back into the end goal by Argentina. It's play on for now. And the Wallabies try to put the hit on, but it's a good carry from Oviedo back into the field of play. Pressure on Los Pumas, though. Leading by 7, just a couple of meters out from their own line. And it was big Harry Wilson with the charge down. Told to use it now as Garcia with the box kick. Gets it out of there, but they're still going to be under the pump here, Argentina. Finding touch on the 22. The effort here from Harry Wilson. Putting the kick through, chasing through his own kick. Getting the charge down, getting those big arms up. And putting pressure on at the back. You love to see it. Oh, the rugby championship this year is just so closely contested. You love to see it. "61 minutes gone. 21-14. Wallabies throw. Pengaromosa to the middle. Uncontested again. And here they are in midfield. O'Connor onto Kellaway. Steps off the right boot. Beats one. Taken down 10 meters out here on this right edge. The pick and go from Carlo Tazzano takes it to within 5. McDermott digs it out. And down the short side, Wallabies Driving over the top. Big numbers here down the short side. Pretty clear what their intent is as they pick and go. Keep it in close. Trying to get that penalty advantage. Hooper has a crack. Now, Pengaramosa. There's the penalty advantage. 6 phases in. Penalty advantage. Wilson inside the 5. McDermott sends it left. And we've got time off here. And there's going to be a yellow card for Julian Montoya. Oh, no. Julian Montoya's been called out. But a yellow card is going to somebody for Argentina. The yellow card has been shown. And off the field goes Mateo Carreras, the winger. Wallabies put this into touch 5 meters out. Too many penalties down this end of the field. Is that the turning point? Carreras with 10 in the bin. Wallabies, 5 meter line out throw. Pengaramosa. Where does he go? They go to the front, surely. Harry Wilson will be the target. Oh, Wilson's the decoy. And the rolling maul is set. Hooper takes it down. Pengaramosa has it at the back. Wallabies crabbing sideways. McDermott digs it out. Ikitau in midfield. O'Connor on the wraparound with Jorgensen. Steps off the right boot, then slips. Quick ruck ball. Swalihi out to the left. They've got a 2-on-1. Swalihi dummies and gets a double. Joseph Swalihi scores a double. 21 points to 19 with the conversion to come. And Joseph Swalihi, he's having a blinder. 2 tries tonight. Only his 3rd, I believe, in Wallaby colours. You thought Jorgensen was through, but he slipped. Chocobetis gets him from behind. What a big moment. Argentina are down a man for the next 8 minutes. And we're about to be all locked up. James O'Connor, 15 in from touch on the right-hand side of the field. Favoured side for a right-footed kicker. Puts it down the middle. And we are all locked up at 21 apiece. What a contest. What a game. But the Wallabies have hit back. And we're all square going into the back end of this game. What more could you ask for? Well, I'll tell you what more you could ask for. All Blacks versus Springboks coming up after this. That's what more you could ask for. And it's going to happen. What an afternoon of rugby action. Argentina slow to get back to halfway here. 64 minutes gone, 21 apiece. They seem like they're running out of steam, Los Pumas. Raven, 187, ahoy. Carreras gets us back underway. A shortish restart. Taken down. McDermott to O'Connor. Now Ikitau, they're going to run here from their own 30. Kellaway loses the ball forward. Big defense from Argentina, forcing the mistake. The Wallabies took the risk. Kellaway comes up with the error. Scrum down for the Pumas. The Wallabies trying to take advantage of that extra man while it's still there. 6 minutes still in the bin for Mateo Carreras. They were trying to take advantage of it, spread the ball wide from inside their own half, and it didn't pay off. Big scrum here from Argentina. They hold the ball. Chocobetis rumbles it up the middle. Short ball, keeping it in tight. There'll be nothing fancy from Argentina here. They'll look to work a penalty and wind down the clock and get points on the ball, but they come up with a spilt ball, and the Wallabies have it. Counterattack is on, but James O'Connor spills it. Double knock on. But the referee says we'll play on. Why not? Who cares? Referee has put the whistle in the pocket towards the back end of this contest. He definitely would have called that in the first half. Still there for the Wallabies, though. Knock-on advantage is over from that turnover. And McDermott with the box kick. Jorgensen flying through, but he might have been a step offside there. Had to retreat. And Ikitau doesn't make the hit on Credes. Credes gets away. Quick ruck ball. Mayano sends it down the right edge, and it's been spilt by Delgui. Now Kellaway grubbers through for himself. Toes through a second time. Andrew Kellaway gets the bounce. Collects the ball. He needs support. He's taken down 22 out. Numbers to the left here. Pangaramosa to Bell. And it's been spilt by Timmy O'Toole. Panic sets in there for the Wallabies. End-to-end stuff. And eventually they just panicked and come up with the spilt ball. Oh, this game is delivering, though. This game is delivering. I've been enjoying it. The Wallabies just can't quite get their counterattacks right at the moment is the problem. Well, both sides really have been guilty of it. Remember, I predicted a draw. I predicted a draw in the All Blacks Springboks game. We might get a draw in this one. 12 minutes left to play. All locked up. This scrum sets. And a free kick for Argentina. Early engagement from the Wallabies. Three and a half minutes in the bin for Paredes. 12 minutes left in the contest. Anybody's game. Anybody's rugby championship. Carreras with the free kick, so he can't put it out on the full. Sends it into the 22. Kellaway. Kellaway puts the fend on Delgui. Gets away. Slips over on the 40-meter line. McDermott sends it into midfield. Wallabies. Forwards rumbling it up. 11 minutes left to play. McDermott has it at the back. Puts the box kick up. He dummied the pass and went the box kick. Toole chases through to put pressure on and forces the error from Carreras. Carreras spills it as Timmy O'Toole races through and puts pressure on. And that is a big, big mistake. Great defensive pressure from Corey Toole. Oh, boy. Strap yourselves in for this final 10. 69 and a half minutes gone. 2 minutes left in the bin for the other Carreras. 10 minutes in this contest, and we are all locked up at 21 apiece. Absolutely anybody's game. It's going to be one moment, one piece of luck, one piece of X-Factor play, one piece of ill discipline. That's all it's going to take. And a free kick to the Wallabies at scrum time. McDermott goes quickly. Actually, he's moved it to a full arm. Well, a little bit of confusion around. And the Wallabies spill it in midfield. Chocobetis then feeds the pass on where it's been dropped. It's a double knock on. First one, Wallabies. It'll be Argentina's scrum. Now, there was some big confusion there. The referee initially gave a short arm free kick. The Wallabies tapped quickly and he changed it to a full arm penalty. He's given a short arm and then put it to a full arm, but they'd already tapped and gone. And that's what's being said. Yes, the referee initially gave a short arm free kick to the Wallabies. Free kick, short arm. He moved it to a full arm penalty. The Wallabies had already taken the tap. You can't play on at that point. It has to be stopped. It negates the quick tap, and we've come back, rightfully so, for the penalty to the Wallabies, and they have a chance here to take the lead. Surely they take a shot at 3 here. Surely they have a shot. James O'Connor steps up. 5 in from touch. 10 metres into Argentina's half. It'll be a big kick, but they've got to take the chance. Oh, they're putting it into the corner. Oh, you can't believe it. Look, it was a very, very difficult kick. I'm not going to lie, but the Wallabies, they are chancing their arm here, putting it into the corner. They've got 30 seconds left with Carreras in the sin bin. They will be throwing everything into this 30 seconds. Wow, this is a big, big call. Pangaramosa with the throw. Argentina will be all over it. You would have to think. They do. But Wallabies come down with it. Pangaramosa wraps around. Inside ball opens them up. Wallabies through Tizano, 10 metres out. Ikitau beats the first defender again. Sets it up in midfield. Wrapping around to the right-hand edge. Here they come. 5 out now, the Wallabies. Quick ruck ball. Tizano goes again. Spins away from one. Penalty to Argentina. It's Angus Bell who gets trapped on the wrong side of the ruck. And there goes their opportunity. 5 metres out right in front of the posts. And Angus Bell gives it away. Mateo Carreras back onto the field. The yellow card is now negated. Seven minutes to play. 21 all. What a game. Big line out throw now for Argentina as they find touch. About 30 metres out from their own line. Montoya throws to the front. Uncontested ball. Rolling maul is set. Argentina have it. Wilson gets in and looks to spoil, but it's still there for Argentina. JC Smoke, your Panthers versus Dragons multi paid out. Nice one, mate. Good to hear. How's that game going anyway? Let's have a look. Dragons fighting back. As Argentina are held up off the deck here. And this is a turnover and scrum down to the Wallabies. 74 minutes gone, 21 apiece. Wallaby scrum inside Argentina's half. The Dragons fighting back here against the Panthers. I'm assuming, let's see. I'd be assuming that the Panthers probably made like mass changes at halftime or whatever. Because they seemed like they had it pretty well in control. All Blacks versus South Africa coming up after this. Nichols, yes. Straight after this game, we'll be getting things set up and ready for that blockbuster game. That will be another close one, another cracker. All Blacks versus Springboks. The rivalry continues. Scrum down here for the Wallabies. 6 minutes left to play. They are 40 metres out from Argentina's line. McDermott, dummies inside. That's a flat pass, and it's been lost anyway by Ikitau. And Argentina will get the scrum feed, and neither team is able to put the icing on this contest. I think it's fair to say the Wallabies have had way more opportunity. JC Smoke, you've got Will Jordan, Artie Surveyor, and Cheslin Colby. I'll tell you what, I like that. I like it a lot. Yeah, I reckon that's a block. You know what? I would like to go and I'm going to take that, but I'm going to turn mine into a 4-leg. And if I can, I'm going to put a combo with Malcolm Marks and Cody Taylor. If not, I might have to choose Malcolm Marks or Cody Taylor. Free kick goes to Argentina here at scrum time. And they can clear upfield, get themselves out of this danger zone. I do like that, though. Will Jordan, Artie Surveyor, and Cheslin Colby. Jorgensen steps away from one, but he's heading cross-field. Carreras wraps him up. Wallabies. The box kick now from Tate McDermott. Puts this one high, up towards halfway. Argentina take it through Mateo Carreras. And they have the ball on halfway. 4 minutes left. Territory now becomes crucial. Both teams have got to stay out of penalty goal range. Heading cross-field. Argentina now through Moyano into Wallabies territory. Numbers down the right edge, and the cutout pass goes to Delgui, who steps back in field. And he's wrapped up 40 meters out. Discipline now key for the Wallabies. Into midfield. Go Argentina. Ikitau brings him down 40 meters out. Crescientelli with the pick and go. Short side. Argentina stay. 6 phases. 3.5 minutes remaining. Looking for a penalty. Argentina. Malia. Dummies. Goes through. Well held onto and brought down from behind. Penalty advantage is there as the Wallabies. Tazano doesn't roll away. And Argentina have the penalty advantage with 3 minutes to play. Oh, that's huge. 3 to go. Penalty advantage, Argentina. The ball spills free, and the referee blows the whistle. Mateo Carreras now has a chance. 30 meters out, 15 in from touch on the right-hand side of the field to put Argentina ahead by 3 with 2 minutes left. Oh, this is a massive, massive kick. Naturally, they point to posts. Carreras. Did I say Mateo Carreras? Santiago Carreras is the goal kicker. My apologies. Santiago Carreras, the fly half, will have the chance here. Two minutes left to play, 21 all. He is going to take every possible second to line this one up. Oh, Juan Cruz Malia is taking the kick. So there we go. This is his first kick of the day. And what a big, big kick it is. Well, I'm assuming Carreras must be off the field. Malia, his first kick of the day. Puts it on target. Pressure? What pressure? Says Juan Cruz Malia. 2 try assists and potentially the match-winning penalty goal for the fullback. He couldn't have scored a try to give me a tick of my multi, could he? No, that'd be too easy. 1 minute left to play. Wallabies restart quick. They go short. And Argentina come down with the ball, but they've lost it. Knock on from the restart. It's not over yet. 1 minute remains. 3 points the difference. Argentina have knocked the ball on from the kickoff. It will be an attacking scrum here for the Wallabies. 40 meters out. Regardless, though, Argentina take a bow. Their performances each and every year have just gotten better and better and better. They've defeated the All Blacks on home soil. They've defeated the All Blacks in New Zealand. They're 3 from 5 in recent contests against the Wallabies. A big shove here puts pressure on the Wallabies scrum, but McDermott gets it out. Ikitau to O'Connor. Fires the cutout pass to O'Toole. And Timmy O'Toole steps back in field. The sliding defense of Argentina shuts him down. Quick hands here from Wilson. In midfield to Jeremy Williams. The Wallabies, time is up on the clock. McDermott stays down the left edge for Ikitau. They go quickly again, the Wallabies. A penalty goal to draw. Penalty advantage. 5 phases in. They've got the penalty advantage. O'Connor. Through the hands now. Swilly, he heads across field. Straightens. And he's well taken down by the Argentinian defense. Penalty advantage still applies. O'Connor into midfield for Jorgensen. Pumas race up and put pressure on. But the penalty will be awarded. Right out in front. 25 meters out. It's a gift, 3 points to tie the game. Do the Wallabies want the draw, or do they push for the win? It's a gift, 3 points, 25 out, just to the left of posts. A gift 3 to make it 24 all and a draw. Or do they put it to the corner and push for the win? Big call. This is a huge call. Where's the captain? They're going to go for the corner. The Wallabies don't want the draw. They are going all or nothing. James O'Connor says, we will put it into touch. Well, actually, it was Harry Wilson, I think, who made the call. O'Connor finds touch, and it's a fair way out. 10 meters out from the line. It's not close enough. They needed that about 5 meters closer. 10 meters out. It's a little far for the rolling maul. 2 minutes into stoppage time. Australia, they had a gift 3-pointer to take the draw. They didn't want it. Pangaramosa throws to Wilson at the front. The rolling maul is set. Argentina immediately drive them back. They're not going forward at all here, the Wallabies. Now it crabs sideways. Pangaramosa has to bring it out. Well defended by Argentina. Ikitau with the pick and go. There's 7 out here. Argentina all over that ball. Wilson, who made the call. Penalty advantage, much closer this time. Swilly steps off the right in midfield. 15 out. Ikitau with the pick and go again. Beats the first defender. Good strong carry by Ikitau. Wallabies need numbers to the ruck. And they get there. Kellaway picks it up. 7 meters out, just to the right of post. Argentina holding on for dear life. Bell pops it out for O'Connor. Spins out of one. Fires it over the top. It's been intercepted by Argentina, but we come back for the penalty. Right out in front. 5 meters out. Surely they take the 3 here and just accept the draw. The Wallabies. Oh, they're going to put it into the corner again. 3 points, a guaranteed draw. But they're going to go to the corner, are they? They're having a big discussion. Big discussion. They've called the scrum. The Wallabies have called scrum. Oh, that's massive. There's been a lot of freak. Oh, no, they're tap and go. They're going to tap and go for the win. Pangaramosa tries to burrow under. A meter out. The pick and go from Tizano. Half a meter away now. Pangaramosa has it again. He tries a second attempt. Penalty advantage. The Wallabies have another penalty advantage. Ikitau to O'Connor. Crossfield kick. Jorgensen's unmarked. Flick pass back in field is lost forward. They'll come back for the penalty again. Argentina surely are close to losing a man to the bin. Penalties down this end of the field again. The Wallabies have signaled their intent. They have to keep going for the win now or they look foolish. They have to keep pushing on and try and steal this victory. Surrendering now would be a huge sign of weakness. 5 meters out, 10 to the left of posts. You would think they would tap and go again. Taking no... Oh, O'Connor's going to put it into touch. Oh, this is a risk. This is a huge risk. If you tap and go, you're guaranteed to secure the ball. They do tap and go. They tried to pull a Swifty on us. Pangaramosa taps and burrows his way under again. Tizano with the pick and go. Half a meter out the Wallabies. It's very, very, very scrappy ball, but they've still got it. Oh, numbers to the left. Numbers to the left for the Wallabies. Ikitau has it at the back. Ikitau pops it out, and there's the try. The Wallabies have won. Who's come up with it? The try has been scored by Angus Bell, and the Wallabies have stolen a victory here. Balls the size of grapefruits to keep going for the try. They could have settled for a guaranteed draw. But those monstrous grapefruits, they kept going for the win. And 86 minutes into the game, they have finally got it done. Angus Bell catching Argentina short defensively on that right edge. 26-24, the kick to come. Huge from the Wallabies. They were knocking back shots at 3 all night long. And it took 86 minutes. But it finally paid the ultimate dividend. The Wallabies have stolen a famous victory here. 28-24, 4 points. I had the Wallabies on a 6.5 line. I was so close. So close. (26-24). Oh, did he kick the conversion? Not sure. Yes, he did. 28-24, Wallabies. Steal it. Literally at the death. Angus Bell with the try. Oh, boy. All right. Whew. Everyone, take a rest. Oh, boy. The Wallabies, they could have played it safe. They could have taken the draw. They could have taken the penalty goals at the end and gone 24 all. We're happy with that. They decided to keep the pressure on. And ultimately, they get the try at the death. And they steal victory from Argentina. All Blacks versus South Africa coming up after this. I'm going to get ready for that game. That game is starting very, very soon. So we've got to get ready for that one. 28-24, though. The Wallabies have got the victory here in the end. The very end. So, plays, ahoy. We have got the All Blacks versus Springboks. We've got another big game coming up right after this on the Waste to World of Sports. You'll get transferred over there momentarily. Thank you so much for your company here on this one. If you've enjoyed what we're doing here at the Waste to World of Sports, do feel free to give us a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will be right back. All Blacks versus Springboks coming up. You should get redirected over there. So do feel free to stick around for that game. That's coming up right now, because I'm going to end this stream and we're going to carry on over into All Blacks versus Springboks. Another huge game coming up this afternoon. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you there momentarily.